Okay, so I just got finished watching the first two episodes of Farscape. Uh, they kind of just blended together, so I just, did them together. It's hard to stop on a two-parter, so that's kind of how I roll. And I gotta say, rewatching this series after wow, so many years is really fun. I watched Farscape back when it was on, or very close to. I think they were a couple seasons in when my friend introduced it to me, and I loved the show. Like, oh my god, I watched it straight through. I was there for the Peacekeeper Wars, and I went to conventions and stuff for you know it was super fun. But I think back in the day, I didn't give season one enough credit, so I'm kind of excited to go through it. I didn't actually want to watch the show originally when my friend introduced it to me, but obviously I ended up loving it. But for the first few episodes, or technically almost the whole first season, because I'm really picky, I was finding things that I didn't like about it more than like looking for things or paying attention to things that I enjoyed. I was kind of looking for an excuse to quit the show, honestly. But yeah, no. So the first episode, I think, is just an amazing uh, like piece. It does a great job of introducing the world to you, or well, I should say the universe. And it's like they treat John like a fish out of water. For people who haven't seen the episode or just want to recap, the first episode, and technically in the first, I'll go in order. The first episode is basically John is like part of a private space program, and he is going to go up and prove or try out a theory that a spaceship can, like a manned spaceship, can slingshot itself basically around the planet. So he goes to do this and encounters some strange, mysterious electromagnetic wave that disrupts what he's doing and sends him through a wormhole. And he pops out on the other side and finds himself in the middle of a dogfight. And he's clipped by a ship that is zipping by him, and the ship explodes. And then John is brought onto this huge ship that's basically getting attacked by all these little fighters. And he encounters on that ship three different really weird and creepy aliens. And you can tell, it's a Jim Henson thing because immediately, one of the aliens is a puppet. His name is Rigel. And then there's Dargo, and he's like, I guess your equivalent of a Klingon in this show. Yeah, but I like him way more than any Klingon. And you're also introduced to Zan. Her name is like super long, so yeah, I'll just call her Zan. And you kind of like you learn from him that these are prisoners and they're escaping, and so like from his eyes, you kind of experience this like holy crap. I ended up in kind of like a Wizard of Oz kind of scenario, but with like prisoners. And so I like obviously I kind of seen it already, so I kind of know, I obviously know where it goes, but from like a story standpoint, like I like that it bounces around throughout the episode where he doesn't know who to trust as far as sides go. And anyways, he's captured by them, and also a one of the enemy pilots that were out there got captured too, because she got like swept up in basically their equivalent of like warp. It's called starbursting, and you learn that she looks human, but John is actually special because he's a human, but she's a Sebastian, I think is what they call, and he's kind of like the odd man out, so to speak. And everybody thinks that he's on the other person's side, and they both want to like have him on their side. So I don't know. It's a really fun kind of tug of war episode, and of course you have this other side to like obviously the ship that he got captured on escaped, you know, these peacekeepers, as you learn that they're called. But on the other side, you got the leader or the commander of like that peacekeeper battalion, I guess. And he finds out that his brother was killed in the skirmish, and it was actually the ship that clipped John's ship and exploded. And so this leader, Crace, has it in to kill John because he thinks that John, you know, obviously intentionally hurt his brother, which, yeah, the footage is so obvious that it was an accident. But, you know, people get angry. So they go out of their way to like track the ship rather than like sending off people whose job it is to do it. And I'm kind of bleeding into episode 2, so you know you got to deal with it. Sorry. And let's see where we go. Oh yeah, so they basically, in order to starburst, you know, it depleted a lot of energy in the ship. The ship being a living ship, which again I think is like amazing. I love the ship. Her name is Moira. Moya? No, it's Moya. Yeah. And so, anyways, Moya got her energy depleted, but also she hemorrhaged a lot of like her ship blood, which is kind of like oil or something, because Dargo wrecked one of the panels on her on the like command deck, trying to get her to like escape or help her escape. Anyway, so they have to stop on a planet to get like basically refuel. And John and Aaron escape onto the planet, and Aaron contacts the peacekeepers. And so it's like you're at this point, John has picked her side because I mean, I feel like he's kind of, you know, xenophobic, but at the same time, it's like, come on, he's surrounded by these aliens that have been threatening to kill him this whole time. And Aaron, the peacekeeper, I should say, that was captured, it does a pretty good job of, you know, convincing him that, you know, she's the lesser of two evils. So they escape. She phones in her backup, which is Crace, and the peacekeepers come and end up capturing Dargo and John. And Crace, being the nice gent that he is, basically claims that because Aaron spent so long with them, that she's been irreversibly contaminated. Because, like, the peacekeepers are, like, super serious about their business, I guess. So she's captured as well. And John actually helps them escape the prison, which is such a John thing, because like he basically distracts one of the peacekeeper guards with like a ring puzzle that he's wearing, and the guard starts playing with it and trying to fix it, and John tries to explain how you put it back together, and then he steals the guy's gun, and then basically they Dargo, Aaron, and John escape. They go back up to the ship, and so they get there and they're trying to escape, and let's see. I'm sorry, I got slightly ahead of myself. He encounters Crace on the planet. That's probably a very important thing I need to bring up. Before they escape, he encounters Crace, and Crace basically says he wants John to pay for killing his brother. That's pretty much it. Anyway, so they get back to Moya. They're trying to escape the ship, but she doesn't have enough time to starburst. So, bringing it back around, John decides that if he does the math right, he can get Moya to slingshot around the planet and escape. And so they do teamwork where they convince Aaron to pilot the ship, which, you know, is like goes against her code kind of, and she basically does the slingshot for them, and they escape. And at the end of the episode, they've all decided they're going to stay on the ship. You have the understanding that Crace is out there and he wants to get John because John's quote unquote killed his brother. And you also have this odd kind of relationship between the, you know, Dargo, Zan, Rigel being the hand puppet alien, Aaron and John. Did I say all their names? Yeah. And yeah, because it's like basically at the end of the day, they have established that John's in the middle. And I think that's perfect. It goes back to his fish out of the water thing. Like, he doesn't know, he doesn't understand anything at all. Like, he's really oblivious to this stuff. So, like, he wouldn't know to, like, to trust Aaron, considering the only experiences he's had with the peacekeepers is them basically trying to kill him. And he wouldn't necessarily trust Dargo and Zan and Rigel because they have done nothing to prove themselves other than under duress. Dargo helped John take his handcuffs off after they escaped the peacekeepers. So it's kind of cool as at least you as an audience member, someone watching it, wondering what's going to happen next. And even though I more or less obviously know the end result of season 1, I honestly like the path there is really blurry for me because I just didn't give the first few episodes like a lot of attention or credit or anything. So I'm excited to get the story going. And yeah, I'll probably do some more videos when I like want to gush about it. I feel like I'm gonna gush a lot because this is a really fun series. So thank you for listening if you listened all the way to the end. And yeah, I'll make a few more videos, I guess, talking about the show as I go. And I really encourage anybody who likes sci-fi and appreciates Jim Henson's work and is okay with some kind of dark stuff. Like, I mean, season 1 is really nothing when it comes to that, but I distinctly remember in the later seasons, the show gets a little, I don't know, gross, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you guys, I don't know, at some point later on.